Hello and welcome back to Crushing Sounds. My name is Chris. We are new to this YouTube thing, so if you like us, feel free to keep watching our stuff. Check us out on all the other social media things to find out what we do, really. We're back with another album for you, and it's the new album by Devin Townsend called Empath. It's a hugely anticipated album for this year, given Devin's credibility in not just prog metal but metal in general. Which is why I've got a bit of a confession to make right off the bat. I've never really listened to Devin before. Sorry. I don't know why. It's just one of those artists I've been meaning to get round to, but just haven't got round to it yet. And I think a contributing factor to that is the breadth of this man's catalogue. He started out, obviously, he started out as the the vocalist for Steve Vai's solo project, and from there he formed Strapping Young Lad. He did that for a while, and then he did the Devin Townsend project, and now he's doing a solo thing which is just called Devin Townsend, and Devin Townsend project was going along with that, and now that's not a thing anymore. He's got a ridiculous amount of albums that you can dive into, so I didn't really know where to start. So if any Devin enthusiasts want to recommend an album for me to go to after this one, feel free to let me know, because I'm at a loss. But you could argue I probably should have listened to a bit of Devin before I heard this one, which is probably true, but you know, how many reviews of this album you're going to see with someone who's going in completely blind, who doesn't know what to expect, has nothing to compare it to, just going to review this on its own merit, with no preconceived notions of how this artist is supposed to sound, or has sounded in the past, really. So yeah, Devin Townsend, Empath. It's a 1 hour and 15 minute album, and that's no small feat for any band. Many bands have tried that and failed miserably, Machine Head and Metallica and all that. But yeah, that's really that's the only point of negative I can bring up, and it's not even a negative. The length of the album is not a problem, because this album is a fucking masterpiece. I feel like such a fucking idiot for not listening to this man before, but this is album of the year for me so far by a mile. It might even be my favourite album of the last 2 years. This is a incredible piece of musical composition, but from what I've heard from Devin fans, that's no surprise at all. The man is an absolute genius. You've probably heard Genesis already. I believe that was the first song released for the album, and it's the opening track after the intro. It sets the sort of the eclectic theme of the album just straight away, really. There are so many different styles in this song and things that it flips around. You got a very Hawaiian choral-esque thing going on at the beginning. Then there's a bit of electronic in the first verse. You got the powerful chorus with blast beat metal second half of the chorus. There's a little 8-bit section in there. There's a bit that sounds like it's coming out of a gramophone. It's just all goddamn over the place, but done in a very refined and thought about way. It's not just eclectic for the sake of eclectic. And the chorus of Genesis is just so damn catchy. Me and my brother have been running around screaming, "Let there be light," all the fucking time. It's so goddamn good. And this quality and desire to have lots of different things going on is carried throughout the whole album. One of my favourite tracks is called Nevermore. It's got a really, really good pulsing beat that resonates throughout the whole thing and is used as sort of the backbone of it. But the chorus is really grand and ethereal. There's a lot of emphasis on theatrics on this album. It's very grandiose, and there's almost bits that remind me of gospel, really, with just the choirs and a lot of reverb going on. But he does know how to get heavy. Hear Me, the track Hear Me, is frantic and heavy and amazing. I couldn't find the name of the female vocalist she appears on Genesis, but predominantly on Hear Me. But she's fantastic. She brings a hell of a lot to the album. And while I'm talking about other musicians, the amount of different people he's got for this album, I've got the list here, is really impressive. So many different people were pulled in, which is a testament, really, to his album-making process. He just thinks, who can I get to make this album the best as it is? I'm going to get Steve Vai. I'm a big Steve Vai fan. He appears on the closing section of the 20-minute final song. There's Samus, and I'm not even going to pronounce that surname. You might know him as 66 Samus on YouTube. He drums on quite a lot of stuff. But what? Chad Kroger's on this album, as in Nickelback's Chad Kroger. I mean, fair play to Devi for, not caring about the fact that he's a bit of a swanky rich bastard, but he's on the heaviest track in the album. He's on Hear Me. I mean, fair enough. Devin must have thought he was the man they needed. But I really would love to be at the decision-making where he went, I really need Chad Kroger for this album. Very, very bizarre, but whatever, the song is still great. All the songs are great. There's such a musical talent, not just from him, but from everyone that he's brought together to make this album. Even the producer, his nickname is Nolly, I think is how you pronounce it. I managed to meet that producer at my college, and he spoke about working with Devin. And apparently, despite Devin's jokey aesthetic, he's a massive perfectionist, and that comes through for sure on this album. It's so well refined in its diversity. Nothing feels thrown in for the sake of it. Everything feels meticulously planned out. All the song lengths vary hugely. There's some 8-minute tracks, some 4.5-minute tracks, an 11-minute track, a 20-minute track. Everything is done to what works for that song, rather than just trying to, make a standard album and put it together, really. So yeah, I could gush about this all day. It's incredible. I couldn't have found a better way to be introduced to Devin Townsend. I obviously will go back and listen to his stuff now. I feel like an idiot for not having done so. But yeah, takeaway from this is Empath is an incredible, incredible album. I've seen people touting it already as his masterpiece, so let that speak for itself. But feel free to let me know what you think of the album if you know this artist a lot more than I do, like how it squares up to his other stuff. But on its own merits, this is just incredible. An incredible prog avant-garde piece of work, and just music in general. Just if you love music, then this is just genius music. So yeah, and if you don't like the really heavy stuff about metal, if for whatever reason you're not a metalhead and you found yourself on this video, even if you're not into the really heavy stuff of metal, that stuff is in here, but there's also just as much, if not more, theatrics and avant-garde and grandiose music, which you can also get sucked into. So there you go. If you haven't listened to Empath already, for God's sakes, listen to it. If you're a Devin fan, you've probably already listened to it. And if you've never listened to Devin before, like me, just give it a try. It's not, other than the 20-minute track, there's nothing that is hard to get into due to length or anything. So yeah, fucking amazing. Best album of 2 years. I'm saying it now. So hope you enjoyed this. Hope you enjoyed this review. Hope you've been well informed. Probably not. I'll hopefully get to Elevate next. I'll also try and figure out how to pronounce that damn band's name. But they'll probably be reviewed next. I've got a new album. And yeah, keep up the heavy metal. Hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.